So you're going to be trying these problems on your own. Look at the last few problems we did last class, and you're going to type in your answers into the question that pops up, and then I'll go over them to see if you got them right. And if you didn't, you can see what you did wrong. Alright, so it says Miss Willie is making a cake for Miss Pollard to thank her for being such a good friend. She measures that the cake is 13.1 inches from left to right and 5.75 inches up and down. She wants to put icing on the whole cake. Yes, on the bottom too. What area will she have to cover to get the whole cake iced? So this is surface area because it's the whole thing, top and bottom. So our surface area formula is surface area equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. Our r here we have from left to right, which is our diameter. So I divide that by 2 and I get my radius as 6.55. And it says my height up and down is 5.75. And then we add that to 2 times pi times my radius, which is 6.55 squared. I apologize for any time that this is going to glitch because that happens. Now I put my calculator. 2 times 3.14 times 6.55 times 5.75, and I get 236.5205 plus, we'll round at the end, times 6.55 times 6.55, 269.4277, and I'll add that to 236.5205, and I get my surface area as approximately 505.9, and I label that as inches squared. Now looking at this problem and on your homework, you're going to have to tell me what the lateral area is, let's say. So I would do this problem and then I would circle that this is my lateral area, and I would write LA, and then I would write this over here. Miss McGuire is creating a sculpture. She wants to put a fence around the sculpture so the deer do not go near it. She decides she wants the fence to be 3.25 feet away from the sculpture and be 5.45 feet tall. What area of fencing will she need? So this can be lateral area because fencing is not on the top and bottom. So my lateral area formula is 2 pi RH. It says she decides she wants the fence to be 3.25 feet away from the sculpture. Well, the sculpture's in the middle. That is going to be the radius. So we have 2 times pi times 3.25 times my height, which is 5.45. And I put that in my calculator. And I get my lateral area as approximately 111.2 feet squared. Yes. Alright, so what is the lateral area formula of a cone? It is pi RL. That's an L. We do a script L though because we don't want to think that it's length. And you're probably asking, what is the L? Well, the L is the slant height. So if we look at this diagram, our slant height is the slanted part of the triangle. And some other students have said to me, wait, that's the C value of the Pythagorean theorem. Yes, the C value is the slant height. We're going to label it as an L for our purposes. And so now we're going to be working with a radius and a slant height. So let's find the lateral area. We had pi RL, so pi times R times L. That's pi times 5 times 13. And once again, I put that in my calculator. And I get my lateral area as approximately 204.1 millimeters squared. Same thing here, but we have the diameter, so we divide that in half. And I have 25 divided by 2, which is 12.5. So pi times 12.5 times my slant height of 20 times 12.5 times 20 gives me a lateral area of approximately 785 inches squared. Yes, when we put this in our calculator, we get exactly 785, but we do the squiggles because pi is not exactly 3.14. All right, try these two on your own. All right, so we have pi times 5.5 times 9. And my lateral area is approximately 155.4 meters squared. And the other one we divide in half, so our radius is 11.05. Once again, our radius is from the circular part side to side, and our slant height is the slanted part. So we have 3.14 times 11.05 times 24.06. Let's do it again. 3.14 times 11.05 times 24.6 gives me a lateral area of approximately 853.4 inches squared. So now let's look at the surface area of cones. What is the surface area formula? Pi RL plus pi r squared. And once again, just like our cylinder one, our first part is our lateral area. So if we memorize our surface area when we know the lateral area is the first part of it. So let's try this. Let's find the surface area. So we have pi times 6 times 6.2 plus pi times 6 squared. So 3.14 times 6 times 6.2 gives you 116.808 plus 3.14 times 36, 113.04. And once again, on your homework, you should circle that this is the lateral area and then keep going for the surface area. And we get the surface area as approximately 229.8 inches squared. Once again, the next problem is the same process, but we have to divide that diameter of 7.8 by 2. So divide this by 2, and we get 3.9 as my radius. So we have pi times 3.9 times 15.8 plus pi times 3.9 squared. So 3.14 times 3.9 times 15.8 gives me 193.4868 plus 3.14 times 3.9 times 3.9, which is 47.7594. Once again, this is my lateral area, and I add them together. And I get my surface area as approximately 241.2 centimeters squared. Alrighty. Try these two on your own and let me know what answers you get. Alright, so we have pi RL plus pi r squared. So pi times 11 times 24.6 plus pi times 11 squared. 3.14 times 11 times 24.6 gives me 849.684 plus 3.14 times 11 times 11, 379.94, and add them together. And I get my surface area as approximately 1229.6 centimeters squared. And the other one I divide in half. I get my radius as 3.05. So I have pi times 3.05 times 11.4 plus pi times 3.05 squared. So 3.14 times 3.05 times 11.4 gives me the 109.1778 plus, when that happens, plus 3.14 times 3.05 times 3.05 gives me 29.20985. And add them together. Yep. 109.1778 plus 29.20985 gives me a surface area as approximately 138.4 meters squared. Alright, so these might be challenging, so I want you guys hopefully to be fully paying attention to this. So it says the lateral area of a cone with a diameter of 15 millimeters is about 333.5 square millimeters. We want to find the surface area. So we know that the surface area is the lateral area plus pi r squared for a cone. So if we have the surface area is the lateral area, which we know is 333.5, plus pi r squared. Well, they give us the diameter, so we can find the radius. The radius is 15 divided by 2, which is 7.5. So we'll have 333.5 plus pi times 7.5 squared. So 3.14 times 7.5 times 7.5 plus 333.5 gives me a surface area of approximately 510.1 millimeters squared. So that finishes off the first part. Then our second part is where it might get a little bit tricky. So it says, what is the slant height? So the only part that has a slant height in the formula is the lateral area. So we know that the lateral area equals pi times our radius, which is 7.5, times our slant height. So just like we did for volume when solving for the radius or the height, we're going to do 7.5 times 3.14, which gives me 23.55 L. And then to get a variable alone, let's say this was 23.55x, we saw in the past we would divide by 23.55 on both sides. Make sure you're writing all of this down. So we get L as approximately 333.5 divided by 23.55, 14.2. And we label this as millimeters only because it's just like a side length. So looking at all the information I just did, I want you to try the next one on your own and let me know what you get. Alright, so it says the lateral area of a cone with a diameter of 10.6 is about 103.18. You want to find the surface area. So we do 103.18 plus pi times r, which is 10.6 divided by 2, 5.3 squared. So 3.14 times 5.3 times 5.3 is 88.2026. And add that to 103.18, and we get our surface area as approximately 191.4 centimeters squared. And then what is the slant height? We have 103.18 equals pi times 5.3 times L. So 5.3 times 3.14 gives me 16.642, and then divide that over 16. 103.18 divided by 16.642 gives me a L of approximately 6.2 centimeters. So now you're going to work on the worksheets that I posted on Classroom, and when you're done, you're only doing the odds. When you're done, work on the homework.